Janavallabha Jai Girivardhari Yasodhanandana Braja Janaranjana Yasodhanandana Braja Janaranjana Yasodhanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatiravanachari Jai Kunja Bihari Yamunatiravanachari Yamunatiravanachari Jai Kunja Bihari Yamunatiravanachari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Bol Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Srila Prabhupada ki. Nie работает. Can you? Yeah, I think so. Hare Krishna. Is that the last verse? Oh, the Bhagavan verse. Jiva Loko Yam. Okay. All right. So normally we write the last verse, yeah? Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye Nasta Prayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatu Tamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Sanatana Goswami, in his book entitled the Krishna Lila Stava, he glorifies the Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna Lila Stava, where he said, Asadu sadhu tadayin atini chochata kara hana muncha kadachin mam premna hrit kanta yospura. So the Srimad Bhagavatam is actually able to turn a sadhu into sadhu. Yeah. Premna hrit kanta yospura. So the Srimad Bhagavatam, simply by hearing regularly the glorification of Srimad Bhagavatam, we can develop prema, love for Krishna. Hana muncha kadachin mam. So he said, please Srimad Bhagavatam, who is actually non-different from Krishna, don't ever leave me. Yeah. So we would like to welcome all of you to our discussion today on the Srimad Bhagavatam. Today we are reading the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 40, chapter entitled The Prayers of Akrura. Text number 23 to 30. So the verse on the board is text number 23. So we will chant together. Bhagavan Jivaloko Yam Mohitastava Mayaya Aham Mametya Sadgraho Brahmyate Karma Vartmasu Bhagavan Jivaloko Yam Mohitastava Mayaya Aham Mameti Asadgraho Brahmyate Karma Vartmasu Bhagavan jiva lokoyam mohitastava mayaya aham mametya sadgraho Brahmyate karma vartmasu. Bhagavan jiva lokoyam mohitastava mayaya aham mametya sadgraho Brahmyate karma vartmasu. Bhagavan jiva lokoyam mohitastava mayaya aham mametya sadgraho Brahmyate karma vartmasu. Mataji. Bhagavan jiva lokoyam mohitasava mayaya aham mametya sadgraho Bhagavan jiva lokoyam mohitastava mayaya aham mametya sadgraho Brahmyate karma vartmasu. Translation by the disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O Supreme Lord, living entities in this world are bewildered by your illusory energy, becoming involved in the false concepts of I and mine. They are forced to wander along the paths of pretty work.
О Верховный Господь, живые существа в этом мире введены в заблуждение Твоей иллюзорной энергии. Ложные представления «я» и «моё» заставляют их скитаться по дорогам кармы.
So I'll continue reading till the last verse. So I'll read the English because I have my sister here who doesn't speak Russian. Yeah. Text 24. I too am deluded in this way, O Almighty Lord, foolishly thinking my body, children, home, wife, money, and followers to be real, though they are actually as unreal as a dream.
Я тоже нахожусь в заблуждении, всемогущий Господь, и по глупости своей считаю, что мое тело, дети, дом, жена, деньги, последователи реальны, хотя на самом деле все это не более чем сон.
Text 25. Thus mistaking the temporary for the eternal, my body for myself, and sources of misery for sources of happiness, I have tried to take pleasure in material dualities. Covered in this way by ignorance, I could not recognize you as the real object of my love.
Принимая временные вещи за вечные, тело за самого себя, а причиной страданий за путь к счастью я пытался наслаждаться материальной деятельностью, двойственностью, покрытой невежеством, и не понимал, что истинный объект моей любви — Ты один.
Text 26. Just as a fool overlooks a body of water covered by the vegetation growing in it and chases a mirage, so I have turned away from you.
Как глупец не замечает водоема, скрытого растительностью, и гонится за миражом, так и я отвернулся от тебя.
Text 27. My intelligence is so crippled that I cannot find the strength to curb my mind, which is disturbed by material desires and activities and constantly dragged here and there by my obstinate senses.
Мой разум столь слаб, что не мог найти в себе силы обуздать свой ум, который разбирает материальные желания и беспокойства, и тянут к объектам
28. Being thus fallen, I'm approaching your feet for shelter, O Lord, because although the impure can never attain your feet, I think it is nevertheless possible by your mercy. Only when one's material life has ceased, O never, Lord, can one develop consciousness of you by serving your pure devotees.
О Господь, я находясь в таком вашем состоянии, все же ищу прибежище твоих лотосных стоп, ибо несмотря на то, что нечистому никогда не достичь твоих стоп, я все же надеюсь, что по твоей милости это станет возможно. О Господь, чей бог подобен лотосу, осознать я может лишь тот, кто оставит все попытки жить материальной жизнью, станет служить чистым преданным, тем самым научится сосредоточиться в тебе.
29. Obeisances to the Supreme Absolute Truth, the possessor of unlimited energies, is the embodiment of pure transcendental knowledge, the source of all kinds of awareness, and the predominator of the forces of nature that rule over the living being.
Я склоняюсь перед высшей абсолютной истиной, обладателем вечных энергий. Он воплощение чистого духовного знания, источник всех прочих видов знаний и повелитель сил природы, который управляет живым существом.
The last one, text number 30. O son of Vasudeva, obeisances to you, within whom all living beings reside, O Lord of mind and senses. Again, I offer you my obeisances. O Master, please protect me, who am surrendered unto you.
Поклоны тебе, сын Васудева, кому обитают все живые существа. О, повелителю моих чувств, я вновь и вновь почти не склоняюсь перед тобой. О, господин, пожалуйста, защити меня, душу предавшуюся тебе.
No purport. So that's the purport of the humble servants of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, to the 10th canto, 40th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Prayers of Akrura. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salaya Chakshur Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gauravakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam panglam hayate girim. Yat kripatam hang vande Sri Gurun dinataranam paramananda madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Katanchana smriti yasmin duskaram sukaram bhavet vismrite viparitam syat Sri Chaitanya namamitam. Any questions? Later. So, thank you. You will be the first one who will ask question, don't worry. So, thank you for the opportunity. Would like to ask all the blessings of the Vaishnavas so I can say something which can be hopefully benefit all of us here and formally for my own purification. So this section of the prayers of Akrura is almost similar to the 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna explains to Arjuna how the living entity get entangled in this material world, and the only way how to get rid of this entanglement is simply by surrendering to him. Yeah, mam evaye prapadyanti mayamitam tarantiti. Only by surrendering to Krishna, one can be easily get out from the entanglement of Maya. So here Akrura is mentioning how the living entity bewildered by the illusory energy of the Lord. And he mentioned about the conception of aham mameti, that means I and mine. So how that conception start? Yeah, it start by the unity between men and women. Yeah, pumsa sriya maituni bhavametam tayormito hridaya grantim aho grihak setra sutapta vitaya janashyamoho yamaham mameti. Akura also mentioned here in text number 24. Yeah, bewildered by children, body, home, wife, money, follower, etc. So all these actually surrounding a person to become entangled. Yeah. Yeah. Janashyamoho means a person becomes bewildered. So this is called the Hridaya Granthi, or the knot of the heart. Yes. So it is the biggest entanglement. It is the biggest entanglement. It is the biggest entanglement. It is the biggest attachment when a person enters into this kind of relationship between men and women. Yeah. But here, interestingly, Akura mentioned that one can get out from this entanglement by surrendering to Krishna's pure devotees. Yeah. Out of our sinful activities, Krishna sometimes, actually, he's very merciful, but sometimes he may ignore us. Yeah. But a pure devotee always be merciful. Yeah. It doesn't matter how sinful you are, when you serve the devotees and you get the mercy of the devotees, that's actually the perfection of life. Yeah. Kirata hunandra pulinda pulkasa abira sumba yavana kasadayaha yene cha papa tadapasraya sraya sudyanti tasmai prabhavisnave namaha. So simply by prabhavisnave namaha, simply by offering obeisances at the lotus feet of a devotee, yeah, it doesn't matter how sinful you are, you will be relieved from that sinful reaction. Yeah. And throughout the Srimad Bhagavatam, actually, this topic is actually brought up, that how by serving a devotee, getting the dust of their lotus feet, one can attain perfection. Yeah. For example, like Srila Rishabhadev in the fifth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, in the fifth chapter. Mm. So he mentioned the same thing. Yeah. Mahat Sevam Dwara Mahor Vimuktes. Yeah. And then we see also the instruction of Jada Bharat to King Rahugana. The same thing also mentioned. Yeah. Yeah. Rahuganaita tapasa nayati na chedyaya nirvapanad grihadva na chandasa naiva jalagni suryair vina mahat pada rajo abhisekam. So you have to take the dust of the lotus feet of the Vaishnavas and pour all over your body. Do abhishek with that. Yeah. He mentioned tapasa nayati means one cannot attain
simply by performing austerities.
И он говорит, невозможно достичь совершенства, просто исполняя аскезы, совершая аскезы.
Nacha Idiyaya, not even by worship.
Даже невозможно это достичь, следуя процессу поклонения.
Nirvapana Grihadva, not by following the Varnashram.
И нельзя это достичь, следуя варнашраме.
Nachandasa Naiva Jalat Nisriya. Sometimes people performing austerities during hot summer, they sit under the sun, surrounding themselves by fire, and then during winter, they will soak their bodies in water up to the neck.
Иногда люди совершают аскезы во время жаркого периода, они погружают свое тело огнем, а когда холодно, они погружают свое тело в холодную воду по шею.
Yeah, you have seen this, maybe some videos or some.
Видели, может, видео какие-то об этом?
I went to Varanasi in 2014.
Я в 2014 году был в Варанаси,
It was extremely hot. It was summer.
и это было лето, было очень жарко.
So on the bank of Mother Ganga, so some kind of Balajis performing this kind of austerities, with like just wearing copy under hot summer, under hot sun, and surrounding himself with fire.
И там какие-то бабушки просто стоя в толпине, сидят под палящим солнцем и вокруг еще окружились огнем.
So one cannot attain perfection by such kind of austerities. Srila Prabhupada explained this is simply torturing the body.
И невозможно достичь совершенства так, с помощью таких аскез. И Прабхупада говорит об этом как истязание тела.
But take the dust of the lotus feet of the Vaisnavas, Pada Rajo Abhishek, and do Abhishek.
Ну, нужно взять пыль с лотного Вайшнава и сделать абхишеку себе.
Same thing also mentioned by Prahlad Maharaj in the second canto.
И все его песни о том же говорит Прабхупада Махарадж.
Vinamahat Pada Rajo Abhishekam Niskinchana Namunetiyava. Same thing.
То же самое.
Niskinchananam. What is the symptoms of a pure devotee?
Каковы признаки чистого
Niskinchan means no more material desire. That who has no material desire? Almost everybody has material desire. Even after you are joining ISKCON for 50 years. Maybe yes, maybe no, we don't know. But our effort, our endeavor is that we just try to serve the devotees. Yeah? Yeah, we should be eager to serve the devotees, and Krishna will be automatically pleased. One time, Srila Prabhupada, when he was in France, yeah. Story time. Normally, we hear a story before we sleep. Anyway. So Srila Prabhupada, he was in France, and Indrajumna Maharaj was there also. Yeah? So they have a center, and then during a morning walk, before Srila Prabhupada and the devotees get out of the temple for morning walk, so there was a hippie. Early in the morning, he knocks the door of the temple. And then Indrajumna Maharaj opened the door. And then he was like filthy, dirty, drunk. Like Maharaj said that probably he didn't take bath for weeks. Smelly, you know. He was a young guy, like 18 or 19 years old boy. And then he said, "Food, give me food, I'm hungry." And Maharaj said, "Well, give him some prasadam." So devotees took prasadam, gave to him. And then another day, so Srila Prabhupada had a walk around the temple. There was a beautiful park. And then in that park, there was kind of bush, where actually this guy, he is a homeless. This guy make his place there inside the bushes.
И на следующий день Шрила Прабхупада гулял в соседнем парке недалеко от храма. И в этом красивом парке были кусты, и вот этот молодой парень на самом деле жил в этих кустах.
So when Srila Prabhupada have a walk, morning walk with the devotees, so when he reached that place, that bush, so he heard the sound like, that was him,
И когда Шрила Прабхупада с учениками гулял, то проходя мимо этого куста, они услышали этот звук, этот
Yeah.
издавал этот парень.
And then Maharaj said, oh, that's Pig Ben. Actually, he called him Pig Ben, pig. Oink, oink. But maybe his name is Ben because he is so dirty, so the devotees call him Pig Ben. And then suddenly Pig Ben tried to grab Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet.
И внезапно этот юноша попытался схватить лотосок Шрилы Прабхупады.
And one devotee, I think that was Upendra, Srila Prabhupada's disciples, yelled at him and said that, get him out from Srila Prabhupada.
И мне кажется, один из учеников Шрилы Прабхупады, это, мне кажется, был Пендра, он закричал на него, оттащите его от Шрилы Прабхупады.
So they chased him away.
Они его догнали,
And then the next day, during a morning walk again, so normally during a morning walk, all the devotees love to go out with Srila Prabhupada. Only the pujaris stay in the temple.
и обычно все преданные любили сопровождать Шрилу Прабхупаду на прогулку, и только пуджари оставались в храме.
Prabhupada went out, the devotees went out, they just closed the temple door.
И Прабхупада вышел, преданные вышли, закрыли дверь храма,
And then when they came back,
и когда они пришли,
they found that the door of the temple is already open.
они увидели, что храм открыто.
And Indrajumna Maharaj was thinking like, who opened the door? It was. And then they enter into the reception, and then finally they went to the temple hall, and there was him, Big Ben, was sitting in the temple hall. And Maharaj was thinking, Big Ben, what are you doing here? So at 7 o'clock, greeting the deities, Govinda, Madhipurusam, and after that Prabhupada gave class and prasadam, and everybody leaves.
И потом в 7 часов все преданные открываются алтарь, поют, потом что-то дают лекцию, потом все расходятся.
And, and after that, the devotee said, okay, Big Ben, now it's time for you to leave.
И преданные говорят, ну, Биг Бен, теперь пора время тебе уходить.
But they know that he is a homeless.
Но они знают, что он бездомный.
And then one devotee said, no. Srila Prabhupada accept everybody. He can stay.
Ну, один из преданных сказал, нет, Шрила Прабхупада принимает всех, кто не может остаться.
And then devotee asked Pig Ben, so Pig Ben, you want to stay in the temple? And he said, yeah, because he was taking too much drug.
И преданный, когда вы спросили, ну что же, хочешь остаться в храме? И он говорит, ну что, он позвонил,
Yeah.
наркотиков.
And then they bathed him, shave, clean nicely, and he stayed in the temple.
Его помыли, оттерли, побрили, и он остался в храме.
He was, of course, very humble, and they gave him service to clean the floor, to clean everything, to clean the toilet.
Он был очень смиренным, ему дали служение, то есть мыть храм, мыть туалет, убираться.
But actually, before that happened, in the morning walk, not in the morning walk, right after that class, he happened to grab Srila Prabhupada's feet, and then the devotee said, throw him out, and Prabhupada said, no, it's all right. And then actually Prabhupada rubbed his head, and Prabhupada said, it's all right, my boy, it's all right.
И на самом
Yeah.
деле, прежде чем это произошло, вот после этой лекции, он коснулся стоп Шрилы Прабхупады, а преданные захотели его выбросить, и Прабхупада сказал, нет, оставьте его, и он его погладил по голове и сказал, все хорошо.
And the devotees told him, you see, Srila Prabhupada saved you.
И они сказали ему, видишь, Шрила Прабхупада спас тебя.
Few weeks later, so the devotee is preparing to go out for Sankirtan.
И через несколько недель после этого преданные готовятся к Санкиртану.
And the devotees packing the books into the van, you know, Mridanga, Kartal, whatever.
И преданные заносят в микроавтобус Мриданку, Каратал.
And before they left, so they found that pig band is already sitting in the front passenger seat of the van.
И они собираются сесть в машину, они видят, что Биг Бен уже сидит на переднем сиденье там около водителя.
And Indrajumna Maharaj said, Pig band, what are you doing here?
Махарадж спрашивает: Биг Бен, что ты здесь делаешь?
And pig band said, Sankirtan. He said, Pig band, you're good enough to clean the temple. And pig band said, Prabhupada saved me. And Maharaj said, all right, you can come with us. As soon as we come back, you clean the van. Pig band said, yes, no problem. So they went to the center of the city. Yeah, they stopped there. Devotees got down from the van. And then there was Big Ben with his dhoti. You know, these days, like really, the government very strict. And Indrajumna Maharaj said, Big Ben with the dhoti, he will get us into trouble. We may arrested by police. So Big Ben went out with his dhoti, with big bag full of books. The devotees thought that, okay, let him do whatever he wants, makes him happy. So after a few hours, the devotees came back near the van and they took some lunch. And the devotees from far away, looking at Big Ben, interacting with some people, tried to sell Srila Prabhupada's book. An hour later, he came back with no books inside his bag. And then the devotee said, what did you do with the books? Did you dump somewhere? And then Big Ben pulled out a lot of donation. He sold out the books. Yeah? And Indrajumna Maharaj asked, so what did you tell the people? And Big Ben said, I just tell the people, Prabhupada saved me. Yeah? And of course, devotees are happy. Actually, he recovered because he was taking too much drug. He recovered and he performed nice service. He gives classes. He became one of the biggest distributor in ISKCON. And later on, he took initiation and his name is Prasad Das. Yeah. Yeah. Prasad Das. Yeah. Because he got the mercy of Prabhupada. Yeah. Yeah. So, and later on, they found out that even he went to New York, to America, to distribute Srila Prabhupada's book. So sincerity is there along with the devotee's mercy, Srila Prabhupada's mercy. Filthy Big Ben became a great devotee. So that's the power of the mercy of the devotee. Yeah. Therefore, we should be very eager to serve the devotees. And here, Akrura mentioned that Krishna is the embodiment of transcendental knowledge. And that transcendental knowledge, as explained by Krishna in the 4th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, is actually our hope also to get out from the entanglement of material world. Yeah. Yeah, apichet asipabebhya pabebhya karma krittamaha sarvam jnanam plave naiva brijina santarisyasi. So, asi papebhya sarvebhya papakritamaha. Krishna says that even a person is most sinful among all the sinners. That means you are the sinful number one. Yeah? Huh? Sarvam jnanam plave naiva brijina santarisyasi. By cultivating transcendental knowledge, one can cross over the material world. So that transcendental knowledge is invested by a pure devotee, by a spiritual master into the heart of his disciples. Yeah. If we observe like all the event, like festival, yesterday we are celebrating Govardhan Puja, and ultimately actually this festival is giving us a chance to serve all the Vaishnavas, to become closer to Krishna. Yeah. Yeah, understanding that devotees' mercy, devotees' heart, even greater than Krishna. That's why Krishna appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yeah. Vande Sri Chaitanya Devam Tam Karunarnavam Kalavapyati Dugena Bhaktir Yena Prakashitam. Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami in the Madhya Lila, chapter 20, text number 1, pray that Kalau apyati dugena bhaktiryena prakashitam. In the age of Kali, full of defect, still one get the chance to develop bhakti because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Prakash, he opened up the door of bhakti to everybody. Yeah. Yeah. So Sankirtan is actually very essential because that open up the opportunity of every jiva to come closer to Krishna. Yeah. Kirtanat eva Krishna shya mukta sangha param rajat. So Krishna Kirtan is the only hope. And Srila Prabhupada in a lecture, he mentioned that in the crucial hour of the Kali Yuga, the only solution is Sankirtan. Yeah. So we have only two choices. Whether we want to be part of the solution or part of problem. Yeah. So, yeah. Just want to conclude this session today that the living entity, yaya samohito jiva atmanam tri gunatmakam. He bewildered by the three modes of material nature, and this bewilderment can be overcome when a person gets the causeless mercy of a pure devotee. That's how actually he starts his journey toward his liberation. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Вопрос?
Just wanted to ask, in what circumstances Akrura offered his
Prayer.
his glorification to Lord? What was the case?
Yeah. So, thank you. Would like to translate. По-русски говорить? So when Akrura came to Vrindavan, so he came to pick up Krishna and Balaram.
And when Krishna and Balaram already almost out of Vrindavan, so before leaving Vrindavan, Akrura took bath in Yamuna.
И когда они уже почти выехали за пределы Вриндавана, Круга при становлении в Японии,
And Akrura saw Krishna exhibiting the whole universe. Yeah.
Акрура увидел, как
Yeah.
Кришна проявил там Вселенную.
So he saw the Vishnu form of the Lord, and Balaram was transformed into Ananta. So Krishna was laying Vishnu was laying down on Ananta says. So he got this vision while taking bath in the Yamuna.
И Акрура увидел, как Кришна принял форму Вишну, а Баларама Ананташеши, увидел, как Господь вот лежит на Ананташеши, и он увидел, как принимал владение.
So it's natural he offered his prayers glorification.
И естественно, что он вознесся эти молитвы и прославления.
Yeah, just like Arjun, when Krishna exhibited the Virat Rupa, so naturally he offered his prayers to Krishna.
Точно так же, как Арджуна, после того, как он увидел Вират-рупу, он, естественно, начал носить молитвы.
We have 5 minutes. Prabhu in the back.
Харе Кришна. Хотел такой вопрос спросить. От одного преданного получил информацию, что в этот материальный мир приходят души, которые позавидовали Кришне, ну или что-то, какие-то ошибки совершили. Потом души, которые никогда не были в материальном мире, и вечные спутники Кришны приходят в этот мир для миссии. Вот если это правильная информация, хотел бы спросить вопрос. Смысл прихода душ, которые никогда не были в этом материальном мире, смысл прихода их сюда в материальный мир. Но если это правильная информация.
Есть три категории душ: вечно освобожденные, спутники, просто те, которые не попадали сюда, те, которые попали сюда из-за ошибки. Зачем
Да.
те, которые не совершали ошибки?
Да, смысл их прихода.
It's look like
Да, если это, может, это неправильно.
It looked like a long question.
It's very nice. Prabhu is asking that he heard that there is three types of living entities: eternal associates with the Lord, they never come to material world, basically. Then the liberated jivas,
The Nityasira.
they never been in the material world, and also fallen jivas who came to the material world because of some kind of enmity towards the Lord, or some kind of mistake.
Mhm.
And is that true? So these three categories. This is the first part.
That's $1 million question. In general, there are two types. When we see this case from two types.
Если мы смотрим на
Yeah.
это, как сказать, на эту ситуацию с точки зрения этих двух терминов, нитья-бхакти и нитья-ситхи, то там
Yeah.
две категории.
Eternally liberated souls, that means the eternal associates of the Lord, even when he comes to the material world, he will not get entangled.
И что вечные спутники Господа, вечно освобожденные, что даже они, приходя в этот материальный мир, они не запутываются.
And then the Nitya Bada, those jivas who fall down and entangle.
А нитья-бхакти, которые упали сюда и запутались.
But to become a siddha or perfected being, there are two ways.
Но чтобы стать ситхой или совершенным, нужно существовать два способа.
One is called sadhana siddhi, and the other called is kripa siddhi.
И есть два вида достижения совершенства: садхана ситхи и крипа ситхи.
So sadhana siddhi is perfection attained by performing sadhana, practice.
И садхана ситхи — это совершенство, достигаемое посредством практики или садханы.
And kripa siddhi is, I would say, kind of instant perfection. You just get the mercy of the Vaisnava, boom, there you are, you get perfection.
Крипа ситхи — это моментальное совершенство, когда получается милость Вайшнава, и совершенство достигается моментально.
Yeah.
The second part of this question is asking why the liberated souls, they come to this world.
To save the jiva like me.
И приходят сюда, чтобы спасти таких
Yeah. The only reason why Krishna, why his eternal associate to come to the material world is to exhibit his love, their love for us. How? By bringing us back to Krishna.
И единственная причина, почему Кришна и его вечные спутники приходят в этот материальный мир, для того, чтобы проявить свою любовь к нам, и как они это делают, забирая нас назад к Кришне.
Yeah. Machita sarva durgani mat prasadat tarisasi atachetvam ahankaram nasrosyasi vinansasi. Krishna says it in the 18th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Matstani sarva durgani. In the material world, there are a lot of difficulties.
И Кришна в 18 главе Гиты говорит, в материальном мире очень много трудностей.
And we, being the stubborn children of Krishna, we think that, Dad, Mom, I'm okay without you. You know what I mean? But Krishna says, Mat prasadat tarisasi, only by my mercy you can get out from this trouble.
Но Кришна говорит, вырваться из этих всех проблем ты можешь только по моей милости.
Atachet tvam ahankaram nasrosyasi. Krishna says, if you act according to your own ahankar, your own whims, there is no hope.
Но если ты действуешь под влиянием своего собственного эго, по своей прихоти, то никакой надежды нет.
So why Krishna, why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, why Srila Prabhupada came? There's only one reason, because they love us. They want us to come back to Krishna.
И почему Кришна, Господь Чайтанья Махапрабху, Шрила Прабхупада пришли сюда, и причина только одна, потому что они любят нас, они хотят, чтобы мы вернулись назад к Кришне.
Bhakti Rena Prakasitam. He opened, he prakas, he revealed this bhakti to us.
Он открыл и как бы явил это бхакти нам.
All right, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.